Well, good morning everyone. I'm in Echunga in the Adelaide Hills on a Sunday morning. Beautiful. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is the number one thing that keeps me safe on a motorbike. Before I start, please remember, as always, to look at the end screen at the end of the video and see who I'm promoting this time. Have a look, because I enjoy watching them and you might as well, and it might be your channel. What's the number one thing that keeps me safe on a bike? Now, we all ride differently, and what keeps you safe might be different than what keeps me safe. But I want to tell you what works for me. And there are so many different things that will keep us safe on a bike. Some of them are pretty obvious, like not riding like an idiot. Riding to the conditions. Riding here this morning, I was riding into direct sunlight and it was blinding, so I had to slow down. I know these roads really well, but even still, with the sun directly into my eyes, I can't see a thing. And I saw a video recently of this guy on a motorbike riding directly into the sun, and you could see on the GoPro he couldn't see a thing. Did he slow down? No. And he went straight into the back end of a car with not very good results. It was terrible. This morning I also rode, when I was riding here this morning, I wasn't only riding directly into the sun, but I went through fog as well. So I had to ride to the conditions. Now that should go without saying, really. But there is one thing I've found that saved my bacon a couple of times. And I think if we're honest, we've all had a couple of close calls. And if you follow me, you've probably seen that I've had 2 crashes. Both, in my opinion, were unavoidable. Well, one definitely, and that was a kangaroo hitting me. And the other one, pretty unexplainable, on this bike, going out of the dealer on the first day. How embarrassing was that? But I do digress. I suppose you want to hear what my number one thing is that keeps me safe on a bike. And it's this: never be afraid to lean that bike. And that really has saved me more than once, where I've come up to a corner that was far tighter than I had anticipated, or I may have been going in a bit too hot. And I leaned the bike so much, like I never have before on these 2 occasions, and it was fine. The bike just went around the corner beautifully. They can lean a lot more than what we think. I mean, look at those MotoGP guys. I mean, they're incredible. Look, I'm not the sort of rider that can get my knee down, and I never will, you know. I'm never going to lean the bike that much. But you can lean these bikes. Don't be frightened. It's far better being able to lean your bike and getting around that corner than going wide. I was watching this video the other day. There was this really tight corner. I mean, incredibly tight. 5 motorcyclists went around this corner, and 2 were so wide, it was frightening. Really frightening. If cars had been coming on the opposite side of the road, I hate to think what would have happened to these fellas. So that's my tip, I suppose, on how I keep myself safe. Others will have different tips, but I'd be interested to see what your tip is. What's the top thing that keeps you safe on your bike? For me, it's being able to lean. Not being afraid to lean this thing, because it will go around the corner. But it has saved me a couple of times. There's so many things like riding to the conditions. Like this morning, when I was riding into that sun, when I was riding through that fog, I slowed right down. Let me know what keeps you safe. Have a look at the end screen. See who I've promoted this video. And please, if you enjoyed this or if it was interesting to you, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, and comment. I really do appreciate it. See you next time. Beautiful corners through here. And what am I doing? Leaning the bike. It will go around them, don't worry.